Nicola Hill. Nicola, can I start with some breaking news that has just appeared about half an hour ago? It seems as if the UK may have found an even newer variant. What do you know about that?
Yeah, basically what they seem to have found is that the UK variant has itself mutated to create a second variant. The thing is, viruses mutate all the time. I mean, you're reporting about the fact that border controls are put in place. Professor Callum Semple, who is an expert in viruses, he's an advisor to the UK government's scientific advisory group. He sort of said that we seem to have ignored the fact that all viruses mutate spontaneously, and it seems that's probably what's happened again here with this latest UK mutation. What it means, we don't know. The scientists will be investigating, they'll be looking into this. Does it mean, what they think is it seems to have a similar mutation to the South African mutation, which is not good news, because we know that that one has 3 mutations on the spike protein, and the UK, the Kent mutation as it was called, referring to a part of southeast England, has 1. So we don't know. But the thing is, as you just said there is this race to vaccinate people before yet more mutations come into play. The SARS-CoV-2 virus is actually quite a stable virus. It's been very successful. It's managed to infect so many people, so it hasn't had to change that much. But there are mutations every week. They're being monitored by the scientists who are investigating the genome sequencing, and they are spotting these mutations each time they come into place.
That genome sequencing issue is really, really important. And it appears as if the United Kingdom has more of an ability to track the different variants and to understand how they're made, because a lot of countries are closing their borders because of these new variants. The last was Austria to announce more restrictions around people entering and leaving its territory. But a lot of people are also saying, you know what, all of these new variants are probably everywhere by now, but the countries that have it don't realize they have it.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point you just made there, Adnan, that there are variants all over the place. You know, we're picking up the ones in South Africa, Brazil, California, the ones in UK, because they have been sequencing, the Oxford team have been sequencing right from the very start. They're monitoring to see how often it's mutating, and it's inevitable. I mean, again, you close the borders, but if you've got any imports coming into a country, there is a potential of transmissibility coming through there. And that's something to remember as well, is that these new variants that are being picked up are much more transmissible. They're saying something like 70% more transmissible. So the main thing is, how effective are the vaccines? You know, are we going to be able to race to vaccinate everybody against the original variant before the virus has mutated so much so? A lot of work is being undertaken at the moment to have a look and to see whether the vaccines we've got now are effective and are going to prevent people from being infected by these new variants. Obviously, they were all designed, they were all manufactured to work against the original SARS-CoV-2 virus. So what's the answer? Well, Professor Robin Shattuck, who is at Imperial College, his team there are not only looking at the other vaccines that are being developed, but are also developing one of their own. He says that from the understanding so far, most of the vaccines do have more than the 50% effectiveness against the new variants, which was what originally we just wanted to have a vaccine that was more than 50% effective. So they do seem to be working, particularly the Novavax and the Johnson & Johnson vaccines, which were tested when these new variants were in the community, and they do seem to have at least more than 60% effectiveness. Can they be changed quickly, these vaccines, to work against these new variants and potential more mutations that are going to come around? The answer is yes. Potentially what they're hoping is that they might be able to create some sort of a booster, like we have boosters against the flu every year. That's what might happen with the coronavirus. But at the moment, they're learning so much more about the virus. They're learning how they can protect against it, and maybe just closing borders just really isn't going to be as effective as people hope.
Isn't it amazing? More than a year into the pandemic and we're still learning about this virus. Nicola, thank you so much indeed. Nicola Hill is TRT World's health correspondent.